Hey, what's happening, guys? This is Mike Moo here, and I'm recording this just straight on one take with the Mevo. I'm traveling, and I decided that this is one of the ways that I can go ahead and record some new content for you while I am on the road and trying to travel light. Anyways, this long video was a long time coming. Today, I received this package down over here from Adorama, and I want to talk about what they have here called the Adorama VIP360 service. So I signed up for this service way back when they first introduced it back in November because I purchased quite a lot of things from Adorama and B&H Photo. All right, mostly photography gear, right? Video gear that I used to make videos for other people and channels, and now, of course, myself. And they introduced it as a program that gave you a bunch of extra cool things. The most important to me, actually, was the free 2-day delivery or expedited type of delivery service for thousands and thousands of items, plus a 60-day return policy or trial period on those items that qualify. So if you go on Adorama.com, you can see down next to the products that you search for, it will have like a logo that says VIP360. And that's not true of all the items that you want to get, but most of the staple items, they do have that. And on top of that, and this is what I want to talk about, is they also include a year of accidental coverage for anything that you buy under the VIP360 during your membership. So when you sign up for the VIP360, they send you some contract information. I think the total was about $40. I want to say $40, $50, or $70. I don't remember. Anyways, it was an introductory thing, and I signed up for it around the Black Friday thing. I ordered a couple of things, and one of them was actually my Sony a6500, which you've seen me do a couple of videos on. This was my first Sony mirrorless that I actually ended up keeping. And, you know, I produced some videos about that and some converters. In fact, what I am actually getting today from the Adorama box down here is actually a portrait lens. One of the best portrait lenses, bangs for the buck money that you can get, which is the Sigma 60 millimeter 2.8 DN. Anyway, it's a nice small lens. The performance is amazing. You should check it out. If you have a Sony or Micro Four Thirds or any of those that they support, I'm not sure if they do the X system with a 60 millimeter. But anyways, this is a fantastic portrait lens. Maybe I'll talk about this more later or show you some results from my shooting with it. But anyway, back to the VIP 360. So they have a new leaf. Service plan that's included for all the things that you buy on there that extends your stuff accidentally for 1 year. So they'll cover it, right? So what happened was several months ago, God, I lost track of it, at least 2-3 months ago, right? Probably a month after I recorded my videos about the lens converters, the bad bias converters, the ones from Kipon. I actually ended up having an accident. I was just over at home, and I had put on my Sony Alpha 6500 on a tripod, and I was trying to mount different lenses, you know, for testing. And I didn't take this out for a shoot, put it on a tripod, knocked the whole thing over. It's just, it happened so quick. It was really kind of shocking. And, you know, surprisingly, the Alpha 6500 did okay. Like, it survived. I was still able to shoot with it. But what I ended up happening, though, was actually bending. You're not even going to see this, but I'll just kind of describe it here. I actually cracked this portion. It looks like it smacked on something and hit the viewfinder first, cracked the viewfinder. So if you look inside the viewfinder, it was completely cracked and unusable. But it actually pushed in all the way and cracked the body over here. I may have some closer up shots over there somewhere in my gallery. Maybe I'll link it down below if you're interested in checking it out. So it cracked that. You know, the whole camera was still able to shoot, surprisingly. There was no damage to the mount or anything, thankfully. So I actually took it out on a shoot for an event and actually produced some decent pictures. Some of them were out of focus, unfortunately, and that could have been something to do with my MC11 converter and also the 18-35. So I'm not going to blame it on that damage. So I used it for another good week or so, and then I decided, hey, what are my repair options, right? I could send it out to get it checked out by Sony. But then I remembered that I had actually purchased it with the Adorama VIP360. So I looked at the information, in the email. I looked it up on Gmail, looked at the contract, and technically I was thinking, hey, what have I got to lose? So I went online and I looked around trying to see how you submitted. I did some Google searches and I found some people saying, well, you submitted online. People weren't really excited about the new leaf service contract. I figured I didn't pay extra for it. But what I did was I did purchase it for my Canon 6D before. Never ended up using it ever. So I had 4 years on that. I didn't pay that much for it anyway. Anyway, so I did, and then I looked at the contract information on there. It said I had to call in to make a claim. So I did. So I called in. They picked up fairly quickly. I wasn't on hold very long. I explained the situation. He asked me a bunch of questions, probably to try to figure out whether or not what I did was going to be covered under the terms and service contract of this, specifically with the Adorama VIP360. Now, I didn't know about this at the time, but apparently some other people had tried to do this in the past with, I don't know, whatever coverage that they had. And they didn't have anything really great to say about them. But I found this out after I already sent my camera in. Okay, so long story long, they basically needed me to send in the paperwork, showing the receipt, the copy, all that, the serial number. And then they needed to take that and submit it out there to the plan to figure out how or if it's going to be covered. It actually ended up going through a lot of different people or departments. And I only found out about this later because during most of the process, it took them a while. They weren't really very communicative about the whole process. But I do remember that when it was approved for the repair, it did say it would take 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so it was actually approved, and it literally did. I mean, I was without the Sony a6500 for a good 2 months. I had to ship it out myself. I shipped it priority mail. It cost me about $30 some insured because I want to make sure it got there with tracking and all that. It didn't even... all the other options ended up being more expensive. Anyways, it was an extra $40 to make sure it shipped it there and got everything there in one piece. And I had already submitted all the paperwork online through them where they tell you where to send it or email it. And that was kind of an automated process. And, I didn't hear anything for a while, like a month and a half, 2 months. I didn't actually think I'd get this back in time for this trip that I was having. So I called them, I want to say close to the end of a month and a half, and I called them, and they do actually answer promptly, and they'll tell you what's going on. And they just, they were waiting for the parts for the Alpha 6500, so that took a little while, my guess. So they sent it out to a group called, let me look up on this email here I have down here on the iPad here. They ended up sending it out to... Well, I had it somewhere in here somewhere. I think United Electronics Group or something. So they sent it out there to have them get it repaired. And yeah, so I got it back. And it was fully repaired. I think the total, if I didn't have the coverage from the VIP360 and the new Leaf, was going to be about $700 or $800, something like that. That's quite pricey. And it's not definitely something that I might have just went ahead and said, hey, look, the camera's still working. I missed out on the viewfinder. Yeah, there's a crack in the body that's compromised, but I can still shoot. I probably would not have necessarily went ahead and repaired it at the $700 or $800 price point because, the body still works. I could use it as a backup body. Anyways, they repaired it. They replaced the board. They had to replace the viewfinder, and everything obviously was wiped clean, including my applications. I had to reinstall those in there. I didn't even really get a chance to use them. But all in all, I just want to share that this actually turned out to be a great end result for me. And so you should definitely consider maybe considering getting the VIP360 plan, because it obviously paid off for me because of my accident. And I don't usually have a lot of these, and it worked out. right? 2-day shipping is okay. A lot of things that I actually end up wanting to purchase are not covered by the VIP360 for whatever reason. And it's usually, high priority, difficult to find items like my Fuji X100F. At the time when I purchased it, I don't think it was covered under VIP360, or at least it didn't say it was. But the few times that I've actually purchased something with a VIP360 and then determined that it wasn't going to work out well for me, all I had to do was actually email and contact the customer service and explain what was going on, and they actually took care of it. And here's the thing, they take care of the 2-day shipping to you and also the 2-day shipping back. I don't know when they get it back, 2 days or not, but they pay for the shipping return back. So yeah, it's been really great. If I had to choose another program, or I had to pick another program, I'd compare it to Amazon Prime. Don't get me wrong, Amazon Prime is definitely worth it. If you don't have one, you should go ahead, check it out. I also get a lot of my gear from Amazon.com through the Prime program because it comes great in a pinch. But this is a nice program. You can't find this at B&H. And I will say this about Adorama. The customer service really has been top notch. Just make sure you're talking to the right people and the right customer service representatives. If you're ever unhappy with them, find out and escalate to someone else who's you just Google on social media, you'll find them. And I want to also say that this is not sponsored or endorsed by any of the companies that I've mentioned here. This has just been my experience so far, having almost been a year into the program. And yeah, so it's worked out quite nicely. And the only thing that I want to say a dislike about it is that not all the products that I wanted to buy are covered by the VIP360, and I guess that's understandable. So it's unclear about that. The other thing is that you actually do have to email and perhaps call customer service in order to process any potential returns, which you don't have to do, of course, with Amazon.com. So there's that. And another thing I'll say about this is that I buy a lot of things from Adorama and B&H, and for whatever reason, Adorama seems to package and get their products to me in better shape than B&H does. But B&H has way more products to choose from. So in the end, I actually do end up purchasing more things from B&H Photo and Amazon.com. All right, now I know this was a really long video. I just wanted to share my experience with you. If you're interested in seeing, I don't know, the cracked camera that I had that I sent in, or any other details, communications about my experience in New Leaf or who I talked to, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have any problem with me sharing some of those details. Okay, all right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If this was useful to you, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video at all, please comment down below, let me know why, and feel free to give it a thumbs down. I really want to improve my channel and provide content. I realize lighting is not that great, the resolution is not great, it's not 4K. I'm really hoping the audio came out using, I'm using a Shure MV88 to record the audio directly wirelessly to the Mevo unit. So sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. All right. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.